Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. It's finished. Manchester United 1, West Ham 0. Whoa, getting some playback there. No, it's all okay. Right, it's finished 1-0. There was an own goal from Craig Dawson that has got United the 3 points here. An interesting game, but before we get into all of that, make sure you've liked the video, you've subscribed to the channel. Check out our new Discord server, which is in the description. We've got a general chat, we've got a Liverpool chat, a United chat, and an Arsenal chat, because most of the people who watch us are them three teams. We are looking to expand them, but there's only limited amount I can do. I'm not Roman Abramovich. I can't chuck loads of money at things. But how are we all doing, guys?
Good.
Good,
thank you.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be an interesting stream. But we'll start with you, RJ. You went to Old Trafford. You've just got through, and to be fair, played fairly well. A low block from West Ham has always been United's Achilles heel. But you've got the 3 points. West Ham are a good side. You've now extended that sort of gap between yourselves and them. So what's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, 100% good performance by the lads. Obviously, I think we missed a good few chances. We were very unlucky. I do think Greenwood, especially very unlucky, hit the bar twice. I mean, one of the shots he could have laid off to Rashford, but I think, I don't think anyone would disagree that he was allowed to take a shot in that second half. I think Maguire was man of the match for me. I think he had a great performance. He did very well with Antonio. Bowen did very well. Obviously, there was a few offside calls with some other players, but Luke Shaw, great performance as always. I mean, the man always has great performance. Lindelof, good performance, even though I do talk about how bad he is. I thought McTominay did very well. Obviously, got the assist on that little header. Thank you, Dawson, for that. But no, overall, good team performance. We did very well, and I do think we move forward. 9 points clear of West Ham, and I do think we've solidified top four at this rate.
Absolutely. And Matt, what's your thoughts?
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Maguire was man of the match in my opinion as well. And I think it's a really good win. I thought we played quite well, to be fair, and West Ham are really in form at the minute, so it is a really big win as well. I think that's top four clear for us now as well.
Yeah, 100%. And talk Man U. What's your thoughts?
Well, I've already stated before we started, I wasn't impressed or convinced by the performance from once we are. We should be creating more. We should be creating more in these kind of games. To be fair, I mean, I know it's a low block and all the rest of it, and it's West Ham are doing all right in this peculiar season that we find ourselves in. But there was some of the play there today was absolutely diabolical. Some of the passing was diabolical. Some of the positioning we found ourselves in, you have to question who's giving these instructions? What are you doing? Like I said to the guys before we started, at one point we found Dan James and Mason Greenwood over on the right hand side, leaving the left hand side. Who's there? Who's that? Luke Shaw have to come all the way back up for him to be over there, leaving loads of space if we get countered. What's all that about? This should not be happening. I mean, all right, we've got a positive result. That's the only real plus that I can set. We've got the 3 points against the low block, like you say. I agree, but you can't deny there are parts of that game. If you go back and watch it again, analyse it, look at how we are supposed to be. If we are supposed to be progressing as a club, right, and going forward and saying that we're going to challenge at any point in the next season or two, from that performance, I can't see where you can get that kind of idea. I can't see it. Where's the patterns of play? Where's that? Tell me where that is. Explain where does that come from?
It's an interesting one. Before we get into how to make, I feel like we're about to get into a heated debate. Which I'm just thinking about the money. Give me the views. But Kenny, what were your thoughts on the game today? I mean, a sort of a win, 3 points?
Yeah, I didn't think it was a poor performance. I just thought it was an average performance. I don't think many players played that well. I think Shaw played good. Maguire played well. Greenwood played decent, but other than that, I'm not sure if anyone else played that good. I think it was more a case of just West Ham being really poor. I was never nervous about West Ham at any point, apart from one chance with Souček when he nearly went in. But other than that, I don't think I was ever really nervous at one point. But it wasn't really because we were playing well, just because West Ham didn't create anything, I don't think. But yeah, I think we should have made some substitutions.
They went through the entire first half without getting a shot. I want to touch on the point that Talk Man U raised, which was about the Greenwood and Dan James. Now, from every time I've seen Greenwood and from watching Greenwood, he's very much he likes to interchange with players. You saw him doing it brilliantly at Bruno. When Bruno went into a strike position, Greenwood would hang back and go into that cam. Greenwood likes a lot of movement. He likes to be moving, and that is a part of his game. I think the issue is Dan James. Now, Dan James is okay, but he's not great.
Crap player.
And I feel like his sort of his footballing IQ isn't to the level that United need, if that makes sense. So I think
it's not.
Because when Greenwood goes over to the right, if let's say you had actually perfect example, Greenwood and Diallo were playing on Thursday night. When Greenwood went over to the right, you'd see Diallo move up front. They would interchange a lot like Mason does with Bruno, less so with Rashford because Mason is more comfortable on the right wing. It allows him to cut in. What I'm saying is. Who do you blame for that? Do you blame Mason for not staying in the box, or do you blame Dan James for not actually doing what I think that front three is all about, and Bruno, which is interchanging and making defenders think a bit about where everyone is? Because you saw Mason do it brilliantly and perfectly with Amad Diallo. The minute you put in Dan James, it's not quite working.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just Daniel James' football IQ not being able to get into
Dan James, always blame Dan James.
No,
I mean,
no, he's a good player. It's just that he doesn't know what to do in those situations. If you get me, I think it'd be good to keep him around.
I think
as well player, but not for.
I think with time will come experience, and he will understand what will happen. I think he's still a young lad. I understand Diallo is younger than him, obviously, but you have to understand the fact that Diallo's played in the Champions League with Atlanta. He's had lots of experience, a lot of interchange. He's even playing on the left-hand side for Atlanta last season. Do you know what I mean? So to say that that could work, Dan James is a whole completely different player to Diallo. Diallo, obviously, very skillful, very technical, all that. Dan James, we use him for his pace, and that's why I do believe. I think just because of injuries and not of the right scouting, I don't think that's one of the reasons why we're starting Dan James. I do think Dan James should stay at the club. By right, I think he's a great player to come on. But
he's good against sides that attack.
Yeah,
not just that. But I mean, you look at Man City. I mean, them and Leeds are his perfect team because you give him a bit of space, he will run.
That's exactly what Kenny's saying. The minute the minute a team sort of comes out and starts trying to attack you, Dan James is brilliant at that. But how many teams do that? I think two. I think two teams do that. Exactly.
I think Diallo's just got more footballing ability. He's more natural talent.
Sometimes Liverpool do. But Dan James never plays in Liverpool, do they?
I mean, the Dan James situation was the Dan James thing is it's just a simple case of he's a great prospect, he's a great talent, right? He still needs time to improve and everything else. And like I say, against the low block, what's he going to run into? A low block. I mean, you got pace, but you're going to run into a roll with it. That's all. There's that from that game that we just witnessed. But he does need to learn how to pass the ball in front of a player when there's a break on, rather than behind him. That frustrated the hell out of me.
Are you thinking the second half where Greenwood's on the right, and all it is a simple layoff to Greenwood in front of him, let Greenwood run onto it.
No, it's the one with
Bruno.
No, it's the one with Bruno. He was like true on goal. Bruno was there. I think it was like Greenwood and Rashford on the left. He could have laid it on, man. I was furious with that, but at the same time,
so there's a couple of times. The question I've got, and this is not to disrespect Daniel James at all. I like him. There is no way on this planet he's top 6 quality, right?
No, be struggling to say.
No way.
For starting, I would need to say top 10.
It'd be okay for like Leeds, maybe.
Yeah. Anyone want to say that Daniel James is a top 6 player?
Nope.
Listen, I don't think he's that bad. If I'm honest, I don't think
he's bad either. I think he's inexperienced. That's it. And I think if you give him a bit of experience, I think easily he could be a top 6 player.
He can be good. That's my view on it. Right now, he's not that good, but he can be good.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to give patience. I mean, if you're just going to rush everything like Chelsea, it's not going to work. I mean, look at Timo Werner, prime example. They rushed him.
What we have to do with Dan James, in my opinion, is if we do go out for a right winger like Sancho, then Dan James, we need to send him out to a club, sort of mid-table.
No, but we need depth as well. We need depth as well, to be fair.
Yeah, of course we do. Yeah, we do need backup. We need backup.
I suppose if you get a striker, and then you get a right winger. I know I'm being awfully ambitious for Manchester United Football Club, but let's just go with that. Right, so let's say out of some miracle, Ollie's managed to get the Glazers to spend some money. If you get a striker and a right winger, Martial then becomes sort of like
Deadwood,
sort of non-existent. Well, no, he sort of becomes covered.
He's full of competition, Martial.
He's
I think
he will say thank you for
Cavani knew that was going to go to Boca Juniors, and he suddenly had a performance of his life against Man City, and also wasn't that bad at AC Milan until his injury. This just shows he struggles without competition. With competition.
I think we have to look at the ambition of the board here in this situation, because it's quite clear that we do need sorry, I don't know what your name is there. The guy with the red hair. Matt. Like you just said, depth. So we do need to invest heavily. Now, are they going to do that all in one go? I doubt it, and the other thing is also on the owners, the Glazers. A lot of people, rightly so, we do give them stick, but they've very rarely denied us money to spend. Look at how much they've given you for Pogba, how much they give us for Maguire. It's just that we've had some really bad, as it's been well stated by Gary Neville all the time, the recruitment has been absolutely shocking. At times, most of the time it's been shocking.
Let me rephrase it. Not that Ollie convinces them to spend money. Ollie convinces them to spend money in the right way and done by the right people. Luckily, Ed Woodward isn't going to be in charge of transfers this year, because that could be a benefit. But we're all sort of in agreement that right now Dan James isn't a benefit much to United at this stage. And that if you get like a Sancho, do you really want Dan James ahead of Diallo?
Yes. No, that's not what I think is. What I think is right. We keep him as a bench player for now. Well, no, when we say Sancho, actually, what I think is keep him on the bench, and when we need to literally bring on someone fast, let's say last 10 minutes, the lads are they're tired as it is. Bring on Dan James, let him run for 10 minutes, and he'll that's something we need from him. Do you know what I mean? So that should we keep both of them, Diallo and James? Yes. Should we sell one of them? No, not a hope.
I think the time to do that
is loaning Dan James.
It's not selling loaning one.
No, but if you loan him, what's the point of that? We have another right winger in
giving him games, giving him experience. You're a quality manager like Bielsa.
Nah, we can't do that. Look at Bielsa. He'll kill bloody Dan James. After 80 minutes, Dan James will go into
He's going to kill himself by not playing. That's the issue. If you get a Sancho, can you really honestly tell me that Dan James is a better footballer than Amad Diallo?
That's not what I'm saying.
It can be back up left
We
wing
keep
as
him
well.
on the
It doesn't
bench.
need to be-
Exactly.
You're going to
So
have
I don't think.
Martial for that, unless you manage to sell
Martial's not.
Martial.
No,
I think
Martial will go out there.
He won't be gone. He'll still be here next
Exactly.
season.
So if you get a striker and a right winger, let's say a Haaland and Sancho just for shits and giggles, right? So let's say you get both of them, then you've got Diallo playing understudy to Sancho, you've got Martial playing understudy to Rashford, then you've got Flaming Greenwood playing understudy to Haaland. Where the fuck does Daniel James fit in?
I think in Ollie's mind, I should imagine that his plans, if said signing targets are achieved, I think the plans for Dan James will be, right, you're going to go out on loan. I need you to learn certain aspects of the game that is missing in your game right now, and we will obviously bring you back into the fold as and when we feel like this is the right time to do so. But again, only if certain targets have been identified and tapped up, so to speak, and it's a case of, right, we're going to do our utmost to get these targets. Because if they talk like they're now, they're already talking about giving Ollie an extension to his contract. I can't imagine that they're going to do it before the end of the season. That makes no sense whatsoever. Surely,
I think
it does. If you, because let's be fair. It would take some shit job to now finish outside the Champions League. It's still plausible, but not even Ollie in his deepest shit would be able to manage a bottle that, I don't think.
After PSG.
Right? So
Man City lost the game and we won our game in hand over them, we'd be closer to Man City than bloody fifth.
Yeah, I think the thing is, top four is quite. Look, I think top four is not done, but it's near enough done that you can be a bit more comfortable. So I think if you give Ollie that contract, that means that when they're talking to players, he can go, I'm the manager, this is my contract, I'm going to be here for the foreseeable future, I want you to be a part of these plans. And that will help getting players. It's one of the reasons, in fact, why Erling Haaland didn't go to United, because they weren't convinced that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to still be the manager. So that's why Haaland went to Dortmund, because they were unconvinced.
We didn't want to calls on him.
And there's two parts to it. There was they weren't convinced Ollie was still going to be there, and Ollie didn't want to put in a £50 million release clause. So there's two parts of that.
Yeah, that was the release clause that was done. I don't think the Ollie thing would have really played into that decision, because I mean, in his mind, that Haaland, in his mind, he knows he's a fantastic, absolutely amazing player. He would just be thinking, okay, what are the financials of this first thing? That's his dad. He's doing that side of the game, right? So as you look at that, and then it's like, okay, well, if I do go to Man United, if it's not Ollie, it's going to be either at that time, it's either going to be Pochettino or some other like big manager at the moment in European football. So I don't think that would have been too much of a concern. I don't know if anybody agrees with that or not.
I don't think so. I think there's a lot to pick out there. But I need to go to some comments quickly before we carry on. There's been a lot of
Haaland.
Yeah, I mean, Bellingham wouldn't have been. I don't think Bellingham suits United at the moment. But I just want to go through some comments at the moment.
Sure.
Wasper saying, one minute. I'm just going through some comments. Wasper saying, "Yo, lads, what's going on?" Right. They're talking. The Twitch person. Hey, now, how's it going, brother? From another second on, I have a question for Robotic Jaguar. Actually, as an American here. There is nothing I love more than hookers, Texan barbecue sauce, and a goddamn president. Adorn it. Up until I saw your beard, that's some face fur in all its glory. Beats Gooner sauce any day. My question is, Robotic Jaguar, can you see the resemblance?
Oh, I'm lost.
Where's the ban button?
What's going on?
Yeah, you sacked me. Your red card there. It's a red card.
It's a guy from Twitch who was doing it to Sauls earlier.
I'll have a contact with police.
Is Kenny gaming a Manchester United news? I believe so. At least if it isn't, then we've got some serious issues.
Like some random guy
Yeah, just some randoms joined the chat. Charlie, do you support United? Absolutely not. RJ, I need to figure out how. I need to ask you how you do this, by the way. Because it's only going to be you that does it. So me and you need to have a chat.
If I find out how to ban that lad, I'm going to find it.
You can't ban on Twitch.
You can.
Well, yeah, you can, but I have to go into the app and do it myself.
Let him be.
Yeah, I'm just seeing. Also a question for MSC. I really like your hair, bro. Dreamy. Shame you're a Man Poo fan.
Are you sure this is Dom in disguise or some shit like that?
Probably is Dom. One more. Jaguar.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on, yeah.
Whereabouts in Ireland are you from, Robotic?
The West. I'm not going to say my location. Yeah.
No. What about Matt? Where about Matt?
I'm in Northern Ireland. I'm near Belfast.
All right. My dad's from Dublin. My dad's a Dublin boy.
I've been told I need to ask the questions. Robotic.
Nah, don't even dare. Don't want to even dare. I swear to God, Niall. I swear to God, don't. Just move forward. Just move on.
Right. Okay. So you don't do birthday video messages?
Nope. I swear to God, if I swear to God, if I find a band boy, never come
ask the question. This one knows. It's someone you brought. Titan, I think they know Titan. Then we've got the people on the panel talking to each other. Sonny's saying respect, Ollie. RJ, they're saying please don't ban me. It's only night entertainment. Yeah, no, we don't. It's okay. We don't ban it. We don't ban it. It's all.
I got found out the other day.
We have to do some real.
Yeah. Charlie apologized for that. I saw it in the comments. It was a very long stream. No, RJ, why are you messaging me asking me a Bambi? Let's talk about the match first. Well, when I say first, it's predominantly why we're here. But top four. Let's talk top four. RJ, are you confident you'll get top four?
I mean, yeah, at this rate. I mean, what else do we have to prove? I mean, we bet someone who was. I mean, let's be honest. West Ham could have easily given us a better game, and they could have easily taken points off us to the point where we could have lost it. To be fair. I think we've bet Man City this season. We bet West Ham. We didn't lose to Chelsea. I mean, we've done everything we need to do. To be fair, and I don't think there's nothing else we need to do. We're 9 points clear of 5th place. We're about 6 points off Chelsea, who are 4th. Yeah, I think it's smooth sailing from there.
Absolutely. Everyone watching, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Make sure you check out the Discord server. It's in the description. We've got all individual chat rooms and a general chat room. And RJ will do birthday messages in there now. So if it's your birthday, message RJ and he'll send you a voice note.
I'll fight it, definitely.
If you're lucky, he'll sing it to you. Matt, what about you, mate? Top four?
It's done. Yeah, we're definitely getting top four. Definitely. And we could challenge for the title. You never know. The collapse will challenge for the title.
I hope. We got to pray.
Matt, I do love your optimism. It's you are literally the genie of Manchester. You are the genie of Manchester United Football Club.
I don't know if that's an insult or a bloody compliment.
RJ, you've got to do a shout out. Apparently, it's in the comments.
Pay me $1 million, I'll do it. Fuck it. Do it, pay me $1 million.
I'm paying you jack shit.
Not you, him. Jesus.
Talk MU. What about you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, it's looking favourite, isn't it? We're in a good position, points wise, goal difference wise as well. But yeah, I'm one of those United fans that just always wants to see more. I just always want to see more. I can't help that. It's just the way I am. I'm just because of, I'm probably double the age of everybody on the panel, and from all the football I've ever watched with Man United, and everything I know about the club and everything else, it just sometimes you can't help but get so fucking frustrated when you see certain things happen in games, passages of play and stuff, and I get negative about it, but I'm not Ollie out, not far from Ollie out, and because I did say at the start, my dad was Ollie out after the first run, right? The first run, the 11-game run, right? It was like everybody's like, yeah, we're back. And then what happened? We hit a bit of a dip, and then I had to explain. Look, you have to remember that Ollie, he's come up like the ship. When Fergie was at the club, the ship was in the dock, nice and steady. He left. Moyes came in, the ship started to rock, right? So we let him go, and then Van Gaal comes in, and the ship's rocking more. And then lo and behold, we bring in fucking Jose, the fucking All About Me show, Mourinho, right? And then the boat is now, it's like not just like going backwards and forwards, it's going side to side, it's all over the fucking shop. So while he comes in and he steadies the ship. That was the first thing he had to do. He steadied the ship and brought it all back to about, this is about the club and about our ethos, about the club, about the philosophy and everything else. And he did fantastic. Yeah, sorry, Matt. He did fantastic. He's done fantastic with that.
I know where you're coming from. We have been spoiled for years as well, so I do know where you're coming from.
It's but I mean, like I say, I'm not Ollie out. What I want to see now is the board stick their hand in that big giant American pocket, right, and pull out a load of Wonga, and give it to him. If you're going to give him another contract now, before the end of the season, you've got to then back that up by giving him a lot of money, because it's quite clear that we need it. We need it, don't we?
Yeah.
And just a comment here from DJ Bile. See you later. Cheers for.
I'll save that for demonetization. What I would do.
Do you know what? No, to be fair, some of the comments
he's funny to me.
They're a bit weird, but to be fair, it brightens up your day. Especially if you're an Arsenal fan. I know
10 p.m. Jesus.
Day's
over, mate.
Day's over. I mean, that's a bit brutal. But yeah, Kenny, what about you? Do you think top four's done or?
Yeah, I think we have basically got top four. I don't think we're in a title race at all, though. I think what I'd love out of this season is an FA Cup or Europa League or both. Just to get that trophy feeling back. We've not had one in ages. And yeah, FA Cup, good trophy, and so is Europa League. Of course, it is depressing to watch in Europa League, but still.
That's the point you make there is what I wanted to say, but I forgot, but you reminded me. Is what I want to see from Ollie is that he's got because I was saying it on a different stream about the winning mentality. It's all right, you know it as a player, but it's having the ability to carry that mentality through into the team and the squad, so they understand it and understand that. Because when you mention it to somebody, the winning mentality, it's not just like those two words, winning mentality. You've just got to think like a winner and all that. It's a massive thing, a winning mentality. There's a lot of different facets to it, a lot of different things that have to happen in order for that to be instilled into the players. And if Ollie can get us to a final, at least, I'd be so pleased, because it would show that he's found a way of getting this into the team and the squad, and we can actually, it's like progression. I mean, obviously we got progression this season, from as far as I'm concerned, because we are now in second compared to, what did we finish last season? Was it third?
Yeah, third
last season.
Yeah.
So we've stepped up and we got second, and I think that's all good. But I would just love to see us get. I just hope that we don't go out again in the fucking.
We need to overcome that semi-final mentality. We just bottle it every time, and we need to just overcome that.
I also think This is your first season. If you get Champions League this season, it'll be the first time since Fergie that you've qualified in the top 4 for Champions League 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that's obviously progress.
Obviously, that
And the fact that
hasn't
we
been
finished
done.
second
That
as
hasn't
well.
been.
That's
That hasn't been done like for 3 managers.
Second best team in the FA Cup.
But yeah, RJ, what were you gonna say, bro?
No, I was just going to ask the panel, like, what's your expectations for next season if we do get into transfers? Do you see us win the league, winning
Win the quadruple.
the Champions League?
I expect it. If I don't see all 4 trophies at Old Trafford, that would be deemed as a great damn failure.
The Community Shield counts as one. The Community Shield counts as one.
No, okay. I expect 5. I expect 5 trophies. And if you went, no, I expect 6 because you need to win the Super Cup as well.
Yeah.
If not,
Really?
you know, he's done, isn't it?
All out, if not Bruno out as well. If not,
It depends on City. If City calm down a bit, then I think we could be in a title race. But if they don't, I think it's going to be easy for City. But I do expect at least 1 trophy, maybe a Carabao Cup, FA Cup, one of those.
The thing is,
but yeah, in the league.
You say easy for City, but if you lot stop fucking up against teams way down the bottom of the league, then guess what? You already closed that gap. Like, if you don't fuck up to Burn or Crystal Palace and Sheffield United.
I mean, no, but the thing is, like, many teams like Liverpool are saying, like, oh, VAR's been against us. We've had 4 games this season that have cost us many points this season. You look at Sheffield United, but listen, the thing is, Sheffield United, you remember that game? We would not have lost that game if it wasn't for VAR. Martial's goal should have stood, but it was VAR.
One minute, Kenny. 1 minute. Wait. RJ, you're not. You shouldn't be relying on VAR to go and beat Sheffield United.
Not just that. But that's one of the reasons why we lost. That's how it is.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
we would have bet Chelsea because of that handball. That was a handball.
What I'm saying is if you don't fuck up, I'm specifically talking the likes of Palace, the likes of Sheffield United, teams that you've dropped points to that you really shouldn't be dropping points to. West Brom, Palace again. If you actually put these teams to bed, you already closed that gap by about 12 points.
Yeah, but you can't just say that because the fact is, if we're comparing ourselves to City, I mean, you look at City. I've even saw a picture on Instagram as well.
No, I'm not. I'm comparing you.
Listen. There's no way we can win because our depth is not good enough compared to like Man City's. I'm
not saying this season, but I'm saying you should be beating teams like Sheffield United, Palace, and
we should,
West
Brom. But like I said, this season we're playing 2-3 games a week.
Kenny, 1 minute. We go individually, all right?
But sorry, we're all forgetting it, aren't we? That what is the fundamental ingredient in our formation that we're playing, which we haven't got? You know, we haven't got that number 6. Yeah, we haven't got that number 6.
Yeah. So who do you blame though? So you blame Board?
Well, yeah, we've got to. You know,
it's whoever's in charge of your transfers.
I think you just wait till this season. I think we'll get a CDM. I think we'll get a right winger, a centre back, and potentially some off striker. I'd say that's what we'd probably get. That's why I really think 4 or maybe.
Yeah, you know, this is what gives me confidence is the fact that considering we're playing the 4-2-3-1 without that number 6, which is essential for it to work to its best.
It is.
That gives me the kind of confidence that okay then. If we do make some good signings going forward for next season, forget Manchester City because Manchester City is Manchester City. We don't have to prove anything against them. We've already slapped them however many times. Pep is now fearing of Ollie. It's the fact. Pep fears Ollie. It's like every time he's like comes up against Ollie, he gets most of how many times has Ollie beat him now? He's just like and it must be so frustrating for Pep. I think as long as we concentrate going forward next season, as long as we bring some players in and we just concentrate on our game and just keep going as we have, and trying to be as positive as we can with what we've got available to us in terms of squad members fit. I think, and as long as we've added to that, like I say, some quality, then I don't see why we can't be in a sort of the position we're in now early on in the season and sort of maybe remain there unless there's an absolute catastrophe,
Yeah, 100%. Everyone watching, please smash that like button, share the stream on all your socials, subscribe to the channel, and check out that new Discord server. Let's get as many people in there as possible. All just get a footballing community. You can all just chat to each other and chat some whatever waffle you want to chat. And there's individual groups there's like a Man U page and all that. I'll be chucking in like news updates of what's going on, especially nearing the transfer window. Because then we'll be doing streams on, like, let's say United go get Haaland, we'll do a stream on United getting Haaland. I'll invite like a regular Man U guest or something. We'll debate it. Then we'll be opening the line, so you don't want to be missing any content on there.
I just want to ask you that question. Niall, is good. Interesting, be an hard question to answer. What is it that would make? Have we got to convince Haaland to come to us rather than Chelsea or Man City? It's going to be a tough ask, I think.
From Man Utd.
I think. Yeah.
I think what you have to convince Haaland with is you have to convince Haaland that this team is going places. Now, you can say to him, we're improving. Now, he'll probably be like, yeah, okay. Who else are you getting? He'll want to know who else you're getting. Because if it's just Haaland, he'll be like, not too keen. But if you then say we're getting Sancho as well, that Sancho and Haaland have brought up a really good connection. If United can be really jammy and chuck in Jadon and Haaland, you may not even, and then a DM, it will be an expensive window. Even if you just went and got Haaland and Sancho, I think that's enough. Because right now, Ollie could just go, fuck it, we'll throw caution to the wind because I know them lot will go score. Especially with the likes of Greenwood and all of that as well. He'll just want to see a plan. And I think Ollie's got a plan. I think that's what you'll need to convince Haaland with.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only plan is, as we can see, it's all there in his formation. So the formation sort of tells you the story of what he wants to do, what he's trying to do. And he has to, at times, he does have to think about the more defensive side of the game against certain teams. And concentrating on the counter attack. But if we do improve our front line firing power, then hopefully, and we don't get a DM, he may well just think, you know what, okay, then we are going to do what you've just said, which is focus on our attacking prowess rather than our defence.
He may not even do that. He may continue still being a bit cautious, but knowing that if Haaland gets even half a sniff of goal, it's a goal because it's Haaland.
Well, yeah,
Haaland can turn water into wine. Like, he's that good. If you give him Sancho on the right, that instantly solves so many problems at United because you're so sort of lap-sided. Like, everything comes down that left-hand side because Wan-Bissaka is very good defensively, shocking going forward. And then you've got whoever you play on the right, and you haven't got a natural right winger. If you chuck in Sancho, he's not a natural right winger though. He's more of he's a weird one, right? He is a weird one because he is a striker, but he's one of these strikers that he's one of these strikers that just likes to move. He's very much like a Cavani back in the day, actually. Sort of, he doesn't like to hang around and stay in one spot. He likes to move and roam, which is exactly what you want. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
If you can get a Sancho who can understand that Greenwood don't want to just be sort of sat in front of the goals and wait for it. If you can get someone who can go, oh, Mason's just come over to the right, I'll go into that hole and I'll cover that hole. If you can get some football intelligence into your right wing, it solves that.
Well, we were missing that today. At times in that game today, there was more than one incident where we was in a position, right? We've got two players in the box, and we've got the ball on the left-hand side, Luke Shaw, and for a split moment, he's looking. Have I got an out ball here? And one of those two in the box could have made a play into the space that was right in front of them, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They just started static. And every time it happened, I'm shouting, I'm saying, why you just run across? Look, you're going to drag that defender with you. And it's short, another option. But because they didn't do it, it generally then goes, back across towards where Bruno will be. And then we try something different, and it just, didn't work. So, and I always say to people, going back, it's when you're watching the game live, you're watching the game live, but on reflection, when you go back and watch it, the highlights, like extended highlights again, and just pause the game and look at when we're in a position where you think, okay, if this was a different team, let's say Manchester City, right? From this point here now, where we've got possession of the ball, where would their players be when I just play this on a few seconds? And you can guarantee that their players will be making runs across the back line, ready to try and squirt in when the ball, because that's what they want to do, City. We all know that. They want to get in behind. That's what they do. So, but with us, a lot of the time, we don't do it. We're static. And that option doesn't materialise. So, with someone like Haaland and, like you say, Sancho, I agree. It would be a total... It'd be it'd be devastating.
Maybe not even... Obviously, Haaland would be ideal, but even if you didn't get Haaland, Greenwood and Sancho works, because Sancho has the footballing IQ to notice if Greenwood comes over to the right, there's no one in the middle. So I need to go plug that hole because Greenwood, and I love him for it. I love his movement, and of course, sometimes his movement needs to be a bit better, and he needs to be a bit more, he needs to sort of stay in area, especially with Dan James. If you get Sancho, you probably won't even notice that there's no one in the middle, because Greenwood might just get bored of being up front and go, fuck it, I'll go on to the right wing. I want some action. But Greenwood gets dragged to the ball a lot. And it's something you gain with age. Greenwood is very much a guy that will go towards the ball instead of focusing on being in the right areas, and that comes with experience. I'm very surprised. Hopefully, Ollie's teaching him, going, no, Mason, I need you to not go near the ball. Believe it or not, you're more beneficial when you're not going near the ball.
It's the 4-2-3-1. It's when you're attacking with that formation. Those three and the one, it gives you that ability to press. If anybody tries playing out from the back against that, how it should work is that they can't really do it very effectively, because you've got the numbers up there to press quickly, and obviously then with your cam, adding presence there as well, and providing, if need be, an out ball to try and squirt it out wide. It's there. So, but again, when you find players drifting away and leaving huge gaps and space, it's easier for the opposition to play it out, and that's sometimes it just frustrates me, and I get really like, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? And that's why when I first come on, I was really angry. But calm down a bit now.
Yeah, that's fair. Matt, what's your thoughts? Obviously, what's your thoughts on what you need in that front? What's your thoughts on Greenwood and sort of his movement and what you've noticed?
Yeah, so I think Sancho helped that bend quite a lot. Even if it didn't get a striker, Greenwood would be fine. Because if he drifts to the right, as you were, I'm basically just going to repeat what you said. That he drifts to the right, Sancho go in the middle and cover there. But yeah, that would be way more beneficial than Daniel James running down the wing anyway. But I still want to keep Daniel James. I still want to just spot there.
That's fair.
Do you think he could?
Kenny,
do you think? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna quickly ask Kenny what his thoughts were.
Well, on Greenwood, I think what a problem within this season, and a reason why he's been not as good as last season, is because a lot of defenders don't allow him the space that he had last season to shoot. They've learned to not allow him the space to unleash those shots, well, most of the time. And his movement is poor, and it can't get him out of the situations at times. And I do think Sancho would be beneficial to us, and I do think he will come.
That's fair. Talk Manu, what were you going to say, mate?
Oh, do you know, I've totally forgot now. Just refresh my memory. Sorry.
Well,
Let's
move on from this sort of front. I think we've identified the issues. Greenwood is a very good, talented player. Just either needs to be coached to not drift and try and stop him being fluid, which I actually disagree with, because I think one of his elements of his game is the fact that he does want to move, and that if you can get him interchanging with the likes of Bruno, with the likes of someone on the right wing, less so Rashford. I don't see Mason too comfortable on the left. But if you could, even a Diallo, if you can get him interchanging with them two, you are going to cause defences up and down the country so many problems, because they're going to be like, well, the boss told me to Mark Mason, but he's gone over there. And then 1 minute there's going to be a Sancho in the middle or Diallo, and they're going to be like, but I'm marking, and then you're going to confuse people. And that's when the defenders are going to start being a bit like, well, there it's going to be a bit like, what? They're going to get confused, and that's when you can pants.
I think that'll work against certain teams, but there are some teams who will be able to sort of deal with that more effectively than others. Obviously,
of course, that's only one pattern of play, though. That's only one idea of interchanging. There are other ways you can do it. For example, switch in play. If you had Wan-Bissaka a lot more comfortable switch in play, a lot like we saw the Liverpool side do last year. If you could get that switch of play quite quickly, that will cause teams problems. You need a defender that can actually play out from the back, because whilst yes, Harry Maguire is a fantastic ball carrier, I don't rate him. I just don't. It's my thing about Harry and all of that. But I want to talk about your defensive line quickly before we do finish it. And we include a defensive central midfielder in this. What needs improving, barring obvious? Well, what type of player do you want to see coming to United? Because there's been links of Declan Rice going to United. Do you think it's that sort of defensive midfielder you need, or because he plays in a double pivot at West Ham, is it a more natural, solid DM?
I think I prefer Check over Rice for sure. I probably
maybe possibly. Yeah, I mean that's not a bad shout. But I do think we do need the like I said the number 6 position just to because at the end of the day, when we're in possession and we're pouring forward and we're attacking, and you've got like Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka who are going higher up the pitch, we need that player who can sit in front of those two at the back as a kind of he's there to read and suss, like when anticipate if they start to break on us. If he's got time to go and intercept their break because he's athletic enough, he can get there quick and nip it in the bud and give players time to get back. It's great, but if he can't, they've got to be able to comfortably slip and fit into and become like almost like a centre back and slip him into a 3 if that's what's needed. If they break really quick and get numbers forward, but again, we can't. I'll ask you this question: do you think either Fred or Smack Sauce is capable of learning that role? What do you think?
No.
I like against that box to box. I don't think he's just
Dominic could be a good backup in that role, but he won't be a good starter in that role, I don't think.
Yeah, and McTominay is more just a box to box. Fred, his passing is just simply not good enough. I mean, for me, a defensive midfielder needs to be able to link with other players. You see Bruno having got far too deep to get the ball off them. Now, McTominay has very good range of passing, believe it or not, and it is very good. But Fred is one that can pass even if you were literally a yard in front of him. For me, Fred is simply not. He's a good squad player, but as a starting 11, nowhere near. That's who you need to replace if you want to play. Because don't forget, if you can keep Pogba and you get a good DM, you're going to have like a good DM with Pogba, Bruno, I mean, that's scary
Frightening.
in its own right.
That's frightening.
Scary in its own right.
That's frightening.
and
That is frightening.
that's the thing. And if you could get, look, I say you need 3 signings minimum. You need a centre back, a DM, and a right winger. Because just imagine like a Henderson in goal, Wan-Bissaka, a good fast centre back with Maguire, Shaw, a good DM, Pogba, Bruno, Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, Greenwood in the middle. That's scary. There's a lot of chances created there.
I mean, and when we're talking about Fred, I mean, he, like you were saying, he needs to be the ball carrier. He needs to be the ball carrier, bringing that ball higher up the pitch. I know. And let me just ask you this as well. Sorry, in terms in centre backs, what do you, Matt? Would you take Mings from Villa?
No.
No chance.
It's similar to problems you've got now. He's not got the pace. If I was looking at any centre back who was English, because apparently that is one of the requirements from Harry Maguire that they have to be English. I'm sure he wants. Apparently, it came out in the news that apparently Maguire wants an English centre back. I'm pretty sure he also wants Nigel Farage as manager or something. He's gone full blown BMP.
Burnley's not an English centre back.
For me, if I was looking at an English centre back, I'd be looking at Ben White from Brighton. Someone with pace, someone who's still got more to improve. He's still learning and still very good, but he's got pace. And if I was looking at any young centre back, I would be looking at him.
I wouldn't. I would rather not have an English centre back beside Maguire. I'd rather like.
But I've always said De Ligt, but you have to be realistic as well as if I was being unrealistic, I'd get you De Ligt, De Jong, and Sancho. But sometimes you have to live in the real world.
Sevilla, the Sevilla centre back. The Sevilla.
Who'd you say, sorry?
I don't know.
Kunde.
Yeah.
I think it's Sevilla.
Kunde, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of comments here. Charlie saying, you don't talk about our cup, Kenny. That's about the FA Cup, I think. I don't think you've won it the most times. I think it's Arsenal's cup, Charlie, but I don't want to upset you.
No, it's a
Daniel saying
that he's talking about.
Oh, the Carabao Cup. Oh, yeah, that probably is your cup. Are Lindelof and Maguire good enough to challenge for a title? Well, for me,
partnership, no.
That's fair. For me, no. I don't think there's not enough pace in that centre back position.
Unless
Matt, what about Matt? Sorry, what was that?
I don't think either of them are good enough.
It's a shout.
Maguire would be good with a good partner.
Yeah, I think if it turns out that again on that front of the centre backs, if we don't or we can't for whatever reason bring in players with the ability and the pace, then we're going to have to just focus and concentrate on our front line and sort of, like you said at the start, throw caution to the wind and just say, you know what, okay, we'll outscore you. Simple as that. If we're going to really challenge to win, there's going to be other teams. But to be fair, I don't think it's going to come to that. We're going to sign a centre back. We've got to.
I mean, you'd bloody hope so, wouldn't you? The next one is, are McFred good enough?
Nah. Neither. I think McTominay is a good backup. Fred's a decent backup. But neither are good enough as starting 11.
Having said that,
McTominay
is closer to the starting 11 than Fred is.
Yeah, Fred is 4.
Yeah, but if we... All right, I know what you're saying, but if you take those two out of this season, where would we be now?
Oh yeah, but the reason but this is about challenging for a title. I don't.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think you need a number 6, and neither of them can do it.
Yeah.
And are you honestly telling me either McTominay or Fred goes above Pogba?
No chance. And I just hope Pogba stays. If Pogba stays, I'll be so pleased because
look, if Ollie can and
he's open to contract.
What would you define as a successful What would you define as a successful season transfer window? If Ollie can get a centre back, a DM, and a right winger, and keep Pogba, like get him sign a new contract, that has to be the most incredible summer transfer window United's ever had.
As long as it's not just all panic buys, that's amazing from LA. If that happens.
Yeah, well, this is the thing now. We've got to hope that whoever it is now who's going to be dealing with the transfers and getting
John
Murtough. Then let's just hope that he's more like David Gill.
He's very good.
You know, you tell me, you identify, and I go and get it done. I get the deal done, get it sorted, and I just hope they don't mess about with.
Good. He's John Matur or McTuffo, however you pronounce it, Myrtle. He's the reason that Diallo was brought to the club permanently. He was the reason you got Hannibal in your youth system. He was the reason Charlie McNeil was purchased from Man City. He was the one that got Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, Dean Henderson, Scott McTominay, all coming through your youth academy. He's been a very good asset to your youth academy, and now he's just getting a promotion and rightly deserved. And I think Darren Fletcher will make a very good technical director in terms of he understands your club. And
do you know what makes it more difficult though for that job is when if this is the case, if the owners at the start say, right, listen, you're only spending this much and that's it, right, and there's no movement on it, then it's like, shit, all right, and then they got to make inquiries, they got to wait, and then you're like, what? I can't go making inquiries too much on the other side because I make myself look a right twat if I don't pull it off. Do you know what I mean? And I just, like I said before, I just hope the Glazers can see that if they want us 100%. To really sort of get that kind of fucking oomph back to get right up there again at the top and actually challenge properly and keep hold of City's tails and Liverpool, because I do believe Liverpool are going to come back next season. There's no, I can't. Yeah, I can't see that they're going to fade away like some people think. I don't see it.
Potentially, it's one of them.
Well,
but we've been going for nearly an hour. It's been a long ass day for me, so we are going to leave it there. But Matt, what's your final thoughts on today's game and all of that?
Well, I thought it was a good performance, and as a top four basically wrapped up for us, I think anyway. So I'm happy enough with today, but I do see where he was coming from with the missed chances and stuff. So we should have been more than 1-0 up.
100%. And talk Man U, what about you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I'm over the moon with the 3 points. I think, I agree with the top four. And like I say, I get too passionate sometimes, and I have high expectations. And it could have been better. We all agree on that. But at the end of the day, when you put it down to 3 points on the board, it equals a good performance, I suppose, in a way. So
100%. And Kenny, final thoughts on the game today, mate?
Happy with the 3 points. We move on. Against AC Milan, we need to win. But I'm happy this probably just up 4.
100%.
Quickly, before you go, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, go on. No, it's fine.
No, you carry on.
I was just going to quickly ask you before we go to get some score predictions for the Milan game.
Yeah. I'm going to say 1-0 United. I think you're sort of good enough to keep a goal out. You're good enough to snatch a goal. But you'll definitely score, I know that much. Matt, what about you, mate?
6-0 United. No, I'm joking. 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a positive mindset for it because it's a European game, it's a cup game.
It's away.
But I just think because I know they're going to have some of their better players back, and I'm a little bit nervous about it. And to be honest with you, like I say, the best thing that would come out of us getting to the Europa League final or winning it I mean, it's like, yeah, okay, it's another trophy. That's all. That's, you know, great. But it's the, like I say, the mentality side of things, the improvement on that front. So I just hope that we can just give a really good account of ourselves and get the result and just, you know, finish the job. So and don't get torn to shreds.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Kenny, what about you? Score prediction for the Milan game?
I heard Zlatan might be back for it. So if Zlatan's back, I think it's going to be 3-1 AC Milan. If he's not, then 1-1 and a win on penalties for United.
See, I don't think Zlatan actually will do much. He's starting to get a bit older. But that we have come to the end. We've gone for over an hour, which is absolutely buzzing for a reaction. Again, apologies for lateness, internet, and God knows whatever technical issues I was having at the start. But everyone watching, please smash that like button, share the stream on all your socials, and please check out our new Discord server. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully, we'll get lots of people in there, lots of chat. I'll be posting when we go live. I'll be posting video updates we're going to be doing. You'll get all the information in that chat as well. But yeah, please make sure you have subscribed if you are watching this. Charlie saying 2-1 Milan. Yeah, I mean, of course, Charlie doesn't. Charlie don't rate United to win. He's a City fan.
Can I just ask Charlie a question?
Yeah. He's in the comments.
Ask Charlie, what's that? Yeah, Charlie, what's that song? How does it go again, Charlie? That In Spiral Carpets song. Does it go something like, "This is how it feels to be City. This is how it feels to be small. This is how it feels when your club means nothing at all." Get on that one, Charlie.
You know how it feels to win a Champions League.
Let's stop attacking Charlie. Let's stop attacking Charlie in the comments. Matt, where can they find you, bro?
I'm just NSC6921 on Twitter.
Absolutely, mate. Facts in a minute. Arsenal going straight to the top next season. You're deluded.
Right.
Talk Man U. What about you, mate?
You can find me a lot. You'll find me next to that guy who's just put that comment at the comedy club. But no, you can find me on Twitter at iTalkMU.
Absolutely, mate. And Kenny, where can they find you, bro?
You can find me. It's in my name on Twitter at Fantastic Tony M.
Don would love you. And you can find me at Nal_PAFC. We're also going to be having a Let's Talk Premier League's Twitter account soon. All in the making. Got followers, which will hopefully expand the channel as well. You'll also find the Discord server in the description. We are going to continue to push that until people start signing up. Big up to all the people already in there. Matt was the first one in there, so should have expected that, really. Absolutely. But we'll be back tomorrow with the weekly review show, which is a brilliant. We won't have any Liverpool boys on this week because they will be watching their team lose to Wolverhampton Wanderers. I know.
No, I don't think. I think they're going to win Liverpool.
I
just think they're
2021.
It's an away game.
Yeah, I just think they've. No,
I just like to banter them. I just like to banter.
Oh yeah, of course.
Hey,
listen, no one loves bantering Liverpool more than me, mate. I mean, they are. That's like the pinnacle of rivalry, mate. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
But you sometimes have to sort of, think. Wait a minute. Are they really? Have they totally fallen off the cliff altogether after such an amazing 3 seasons? To be fair to them, and I don't think they.
It'll be an interesting one. It'll be an interesting one. But yeah, we have come to the end. Charlie, maybe I don't know. I've got 2 shows to prepare for even before the weekly review show. I make my decisions quite late on with the panel. But we shall see, Charlie. We shall see. God knows. I'm too tired to even think. Don't ask me questions. All I do know is we've got Guna and Luke on it already. Probably have Matt if he's free. I know he likes blowing gas at other clubs. It's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, you can find us. That will be tomorrow at 8:30. You can find me on Stephen's channel tomorrow at 4 o'clock with Refs Watch. Fuck knows what I'm even going to talk about because I've been watching Formula One all weekend, and a couple of matches. It'll be a quick one. Then you can find me on the first 11 with the EFL show 7 o'clock tomorrow. Then we've got the weekly review show, and then God knows what I've got planned for the rest of the week. But everyone, thank you for watching, and until next time, cheers.